what it is, man. This is the Green Room. ED and Mr. Gemini on the mic in a warm-up to a show about nothing. Hey, welcome to the Green Room.
Dude, limp in, why don't you? Jesus.
I can do that. It's Mr. Gemini.
Philly D.
Fact check a clickety clack on Miss JD.
And this is
Yeah. Well, first off, yes,
this is beer. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were just introducing still, so I was introducing the people at home to the beer I'm about. God damn it!
Yes,
sorry, people.
This is the warm-up show to the show about nothing, and
this is the real show.
We talks and stuff, and you know what I find, like, it's just so much these days. Like, everybody's all hooked into like the social media and like these gadgets on their phone, and I feel like we just don't sit down and talk anymore. You know what I mean?
Not enough of us.
That's where a lot of
why we do this
kind of stem from. Like, this is one thing. Before any of this started, like, it was common for one of us to just grab the remote and say, "We're just going to chill. We're just going to sit here. We're going to face each other. We're going to have a conversation." You know.
See, that was the thing with us, dude. Is like,
and it would start with the, you know, what's going on with you in your world? And then it would kind of grow out from that, like just do its own thing.
But see, anytime you and I would hang out, we wouldn't watch TV. We would actually be
like
hanging out.
YouTube or something maybe, but even then, like there
was no YouTube back then.
Oh, back when we started, yeah.
Yeah.
The YouTube was a new introduction. I'm just saying more recently, but yeah.
I mean, I would, because even like when you would come over to chill with me or something, if I did have the TV on, it all of a sudden just became like background pretty much, unless there was something that we, you know, movie wise, we would have. You know,
well, there was a time or three where it was like, you know, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna watch Breakfast Club.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know, we're gonna do that as friends. We're gonna sit down and we're gonna watch Breakfast Club.
Dude, I mean, we do that
awesome
now.
movie.
We haven't had our guy date in a while, dude. We need a bro date, bro. We still have to do Idiocracy, which dude,
that's going way back. Yeah.
Well, so Mike Judge was just on Rogan, and they were talking about Idiocracy and a bunch of other stuff. So I thought that was pretty funny.
And it's really not fictional. Was there some conversation about that?
So I mean, there was,
in a sense.
Well, there was a
like, ow, my balls. Like, that's
my balls. It was, what I saw was like a 9-minute clip, and Joe pretty much touches on. He's like, is it funny now how you got everything right except for you missed social media? Because that wasn't in there.
Right. Yeah.
But every other thing about it kind of, it
doesn't really necessarily need to be there.
Pretty much.
In that portrayal. Like, it doesn't, I mean, if it was, it would just be like like another "I told you so," but it's not necessary.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because I think it gets the point across.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. But that's kind of what they were.
So have you seen this?
The movie Idiocracy? Oh yeah.
Oh, maybe when it first came out, yeah.
The basic premise is that smart people really don't have kids, or maybe have one.
Yeah, if any, pretty much, yeah.
And dumb people just keep procreating.
Well, so
and that eventually, like, if you were to draw that out to the nth degree,
and that was
not taking into effect. I mean, I'm Darwin, you know.
Well, correct. Well, but that was one of the things within that they were talking about. You know, again, he's like, you know, how you got it right, other than social media, and it's not that he didn't get that wrong. He didn't predict it or put it in there, or, you know, so it wasn't a part of his spiel, but that was like the only thing that was kind of missing from the premise of that movie. But yeah,
that makes you question. I mean, somebody you'd think is such a goofball to write. I mean, originally what Beavis and Butthead, I think, was where he really got his big break.
Well, and I think even that was ironic. You know, he was
yeah, absolutely. I mean, but
so most think it's like stupid stoner fart jokes, but it's more than that. There's an irony behind it, I think. So it was to me, I feel it was intelligent comedy, even though it was like asinine, you know, stoner dick fart jokes and stuff. So But
Well, and it was picking on like stereotypes and all. I mean, just like any good comedy does. I mean, it was just an extreme.
yeah,
You know, you kind of have to stretch it out to the extreme, and it's how you stretch it that makes it funny. It's how you know, how you poke fun at certain things. But like, yeah, we always thought it was dumb humor, but like, it's really interesting to think that you know, this guy apparently is really deep when you start seeing some of the stuff. And I don't think really, you know, from my perspective, if I was him, like, I don't think it really was a prediction so much as like he just kind of saw the direction that things were already moving. You know, and maybe he just kind of took that to the nth degree. Like, this is what happens when you allow a certain conditions to fester, you know,
yeah.
and like what would happen if,
Or maybe it was one of those like Tesla lucid dream things, and he tapped into the other side where somebody else just
who knows,
right? Maybe
who knows? I mean, comedy is serious business,
right, right.
I mean, like to be a comedian, you not only have to be a good entertainer, but in almost all cases, you have to be quite intelligent. I mean, to be able to think your way into these scenarios, to be able to become a storyteller and captivate.
And I think that's the whole Mark Twain award for Chappelle is kind of about, because he's more than just a comedian. I mean, it's entertainment. It's more than that. It's educational, and it's more than that. It's thought provoking, and it's, you know, there's so many levels to what he does that, I mean, it's worthy of it. You know, I think the same thing. I mean, yeah, a lot of people kind of pigeonhole Mike Judge because of the Beavis and Butthead thing, but you know, if all you saw was two stoners who weren't stoners because they didn't do any drugs, they were just dumb. Literally, just.
Well, I mean, I can tell you from personal experience, it was Office Space that really brought me completely around. That I was like, wow,
yeah.
You know, I was like, this guy is an incredible writer.
Like, he gets me. Right, that's what. But that's kind of the thing is, you're like, that's
and the funniest
thing
was it was out 10 years, and my brother said something about it, and he's like, "How have you not seen this? You work in a cube farm."
Right.
And I was like, I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing. And then I watched it, and I was like, that is a really funny movie. I need a copy of this now. It was like immediate. It was an immediate. I was like, yes, this is a classic.
Oh yeah. I mean, from the first watch.
I mean, come on. There was no red swing line before that movie.
I know.
But now it's like a limited edition thing. It's like,
yeah, but I mean, even beyond that, because I mean, that's one of those productions where I feel, even if you take the movie apart, you know, take everything out of context and just do scene by scene, they still relatively hold up, where you really don't have to have the overall, you know, backstory or premise or whatever, and it's still just, it's a good scene.
right.
And I think that's impressive in itself, you know. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I think he's dope. Mike Judge is a good dude. It's good people.
Yeah, it was almost like each scene was written as its own like particular skit. It was very, there was no line in there that was wasted. It was all, you know what I mean? It all served its, I mean, I guess you could say that about all kinds of writing, but it was just something about that movie in particular. I was like, well, this guy is definitely more than Beavis and Butthead. Like, there's a lot more, you know, because I haven't followed his entire career. I don't know if you have, but
I mean, other than those ones, I don't actually, I don't know even. That's pretty.
So what you say? When he got into movies, what was his first movie?
Well, I think his first one, didn't he do Beavis and Butthead?
Beavis and Butthead did go to the movies.
Yeah. Does America. But I think he did that, and that's when he was able to start doing, because that's when I think he had Office Space, and then
that's where he got his foot in the door. Okay.
I think so.
So was Office Space the first actual movie outside of Beavis and Butthead?
You could ask the fact checker.
Yeah, that's true.
I love how you're looking at me like, hey, I was like, do you?
Well, I'm just asking if you know. I mean, like I said, I haven't followed his career per se, but that was the first movie for me, was Office Space, that made me realize, like, okay, this is true genius at work here.
You know? Pretty much, yeah. He's definitely,
and it was the same thing. It was taking something to an nth degree. It was like, you know, being somebody who worked in an office environment, there's certain stereotypes that you usually find.
But see, he didn't even just do it for The Office, because think about that. It was also when they went to Tchotchkes or whatever.
Corporate accounting, Nina speaking. Please hold.
Yeah, right. But when they're at the
Tchotchkes.
restaurant and stuff, yeah, and you have the manager talking to her in that fashion. And
Sounds
you got
like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Yeah, right. And you got freaking Brad over there with his, 32 pieces of flair. You could use a cup of coffee. Turn that frown upside down. It's like, shut up, Thomas. Slap the shit out of you, Brian. Just get the. Yeah, nobody wants that douche. But that's very much.
Would you like some mozzarella sticks or maybe some. Like just coffee.
So,
yeah, right.
what specifically would you like to know?
Oh, I lost it. What were we talking about?
The
Beavis and
Judge.
Butthead.
Yeah, Mike
what was
Judge.
what was the first serious movie after Beavis and Butthead that?
Or just
that
what's
Mike
his
Judge?
filmology? Yeah, like what's his directing path been?
Historically speaking.
Yeah, because I don't know if Office Space didn't come before Beavis and Butthead movie. You know what I mean? He might have gotten Office Space because he was doing Beavis and Butthead, and then because of Office Space, then
That's the question that I don't know. I don't know the answer to. Because I totally missed the bus on Office Space like 10 years later.
Idiocracy wasn't until it was 2006. Yeah, I want to say it was like 2006. Idiocracy came out. Office Space is
Correct.
Hey, I got one. Hey.
And Beavis and Butthead says it goes from 93 to 2011 with movies at like 96 and 2022.
So Office Space
as well as like a 92 or so.
All right, so one was Office Space.
And Office Space was in 99.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. That one was before he did Idiocracy. All right, so it sounds like he got Beavis and Butthead and then did a spiel out there. So
yeah.
I got two things right.
And I did see something where an episode of Beavis and Butthead inspired something on The Office Space.
In the movie Office or Office Space?
Yeah, on the show The Office or in the movie
You just said
Office
The Office Space,
sorry.
so I'm kind of confused.
In the movie Office.
Okay.
Hold on.
I think our fact checker needs to fact check. Can we get a fact checker for the fact checker?
Well, I'm trying to think.
You can't trust us.
The
We've
shortest
been
amount of
cars.
information quickly.
Calling on cars. We're now on the lookout for a sedan covered with duckies and bunnies. Oh.
Dude, what was that? Oh my god!
It has to do with inspiring one of the most famous Office Space's most famous scenes.
Oh, where they smashed the fax machine? I feel like that's the most famous scene. I don't know, but maybe that's
The
just
most
me.
famous? That was a pretty damn good scene, though.
That's what I'm
With the
saying.
gangster music playing in the background.
Dude, I mean, all of it was put together so well. Like it's a great production. I mean, it really is. I mean, Office Space is solid, like start to finish.
What was the name of that song? Was like "Wanna Be a Gangster" or something about a gangster?
Yeah, no, damn, it feels good to be a gangster. But that was it. That was a different part.
That wasn't that part.
Yeah, no, because that one was like, damn, he was just like going in on it.
Oh, during the actual beating.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think it was the cruise home after destroying all. They were like all sitting like mad lax, like. Then I was like, damn, it feels good to be again. And that's when they're like floating their hand at the window. I don't know. Something like that.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
I feel like, I think that might be right. I don't know. Again, I've been drinking.
Smashing a printer.
Yeah, what was the song?
So that was the famous scene was the fax. Yes, the printer, but yeah, the conglomerate big machine. It's like the fax and scanner.
What the hell is PC load letter?
It's from Office Space. Yeah, we have watched this movie enough that we got that kind of stuff.
Actually, I think I cleaned that up too.
Was it? Hey man, channel 17. They got boobies.
Somebody's like, "What the fuck is PC load letter?"
Right? Yeah, I think he does. And that's when he like smacks it. I swear to God. Then he kicks it or some shit.
Well, that was Samir.
Yeah, Samir Nahinajad.
Like when he went to smack it, like the lid came off and then he had it in his hand. And he like snapped it back down. It's like, ah.
It says there's a paper jam. And there's no jam.
There's no jam.
There's nothing in there. It's bullshit, man. Fucking every one of those characters, man. Like they
dude. But if you worked in an office, everybody's had moments like that.
Yeah, pretty much. Fucking PC love letter. What is? Now they're all son of a bitch.
Now they're all blanking. Yeah.
Why is this in Japanese? I can't read these characters. Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. Is it Michael Bolton?
Is your name Michael Bolton? Is that
oh my
real?
Gosh, any relation?
Nope, not at all.
It was a good name.
Yeah, right. You just
Till that no talent having ass clown started making albums.
hey, you can just call me Mike. Yeah. Nah, so that was you. Michael's fine.
What would you say your favorite song is?
Oh gosh, I mean, there's so many good ones. I know. I have a hard time too. Yeah, fuck John C. McGinley in that.
But let me tell you, when I hear him sing "When a Man Loves a Woman,"
dude, yeah. If you don't know about John C. McGinley, man, holy Jesus, he's played so many good roles. Yeah, we've talked. He's one of my favorites because he's one of those goes on a tirade rant and stuff.
I think he's real strong management material. Well, he's been having problems with his TPS reports.
Yeah, about that.
He has to hold him back. He's like,
yeah, no, dude. John C. McGinley's he's a hell of an actor, man. Like,
well, that's your one show that I never really got around to watching. Scrubs.
Yeah, I love him in Scrubs. He's like phenomenal. Just Vince Vaughn, Jeremy Piven type. Just spitfire. Just lays it out there. I mean, when he goes all in. Like he's hard. This dude is dope. He was also in the movie Cannabis Kid, where it was. What's that?
Don't think I've seen that.
Cannabis Kid it's a smaller production piece. I forget the kid who played the main character, but John C. McGinley played a small part in that, where he was actually the cannabis grower that lived in Canada, that the kids in America were buying from, that were basically, they would drive up, get dropped off, grab everything, run it to a spot, and then all the dudes would load up and they would run across the border. Because this is like up in, Washington, Wyoming, Idaho, that area up there.
Okay.
So they're up across the border or whatever. So it's easy enough for them to pretty much buy, air quotes, legal weed, and then run it back across. But the thing is, they're like running pounds of this shit for like a local Russian who's like, he's just controlling the area. Like it's just his spot. But yeah, John C. McGinley plays the cannabis grower in there. Same thing, man. Just spitfire shit. But he's talking about the trichomes, and it's like, and this shit couldn't even hold this guy's jock strap. And it's just like, yeah, that's a female plant. But all right, bro, I get what you're saying.
And the kid's name is Jonathan Daniel Brown, and he played Nate Norman.
Yeah, which is supposedly is based off of a true story. Where not so much that it was in the news, true story, but I think it was. But somebody wrote this story, and they made that. It's a dope production too. But he was John C. McGinley was the dick FBI agent in Point Break with Keanu Reeves and shit, and he's talking about being a jackass with his surfboard. And
how do you get typecast? I mean, like you get typecast as a dick, basically. Like,
well, but he doesn't.
And there's plenty of actors like that are really good actors on their own, but like. Yeah. They've kind of gotten typecast to be like, the minute you see their face, you're like, oh, here we go.
But see, I think I would say with him, it's probably more because he enjoys it. I think because he's just good at it and he likes it. Because I mean, when you talk about this is long-winded lines. I mean, these are almost monologues that they run and spot for just over and over. Like the ability to do that. I mean, that's impressive to me. I mean, I know how much work goes into being able to do that, and that's impressive. So
yeah, it says it's biographical of an Idaho teen dropout who builds a multi-million-dollar marijuana ring by trafficking drugs through the woods across Canada and the U.S. border.
See, Idaho. Told you. Fucking potato state, bro. Well, because that's the one that's got like that weird shape where you get like just that little finger that comes up, I think, right?
It's like the drugs version of that arms dealer movie you were telling me about. With the young kids that...
Oh, the ones with... Yeah, that was a Jonah Hill movie. That was the...
War Dogs.
War Dogs, yeah.
Right. For, what the hell was it? The first time we went to Iraq or whatever, and they were just doing contracts and shit. Dude, I mean, the U.S. government was just paying for shit really left and right. Yeah, they had... Dude, they were running all sorts of crazy. And, I mean, for the most part, they were doing things legally.
But, I mean, they get dropped into this situation of like, oh, fuck. Like, well, what do we do now?
But that's the thing is most of the things that they were picking up they were just being very prudent. I mean, they were just running through because there was all these things were open and they were just figuring out what they can get their hands on.
They're dealing with people that would kill their own brother over.
Well, they start getting to that point,
and it's like, oh my God, what do we do now? Like,
well, yeah, then that's when they get to the point where what they got busted for was the fact that they bought AK-47 ammunition that was supposed to be Russian and it was Chinese.
Right, yeah.
And they repackaged it.
Right.
But in the movie, I think it was they didn't pay their people and so they got pissy but dude, it was just like typical shit, man. Get too caught up in all the money you're going to make. It's like, man, you know what? Pay your people. Take care of but the fuck.
It sounds like a drugs version of that. Sort of.
To a degree. I mean, there's definitely comparable components. So, I mean, yeah, I would say you can make that comparison, but yeah, I'll agree with that statement.
Finding yourself at what age, in a very interesting position. And maybe in trouble.
Well, see, but that's the thing. All right, so in
and like, who do you call at that point? Like, think about, put yourself in that position. You're like, whoa.
So, Kid Cannabis. The relative premise on this is this kid Nate Norman finds this cat where he's just like he's got this hookup, and goes on this adventure to try to get this hookup or get something better because the kid that does is just like a total douche or whatever. Well, so they wind up going to Canada to try to find their own. This is how they come across like John C. McGinley. Well, Nate Norman literally supposedly takes this big fat cola bud, this massive friggin' forearm of a whatever, but the size of like, dude, no, I mean it's like the size of a Snickers or something, but it's like a big fat freaking thing of bud, wraps it in a condom and then shoves it in his butt so that he can drive across the border and not get caught with it. Like, so he smuggles it across the border like first time. What he does is he takes this and then goes and gives it to the Russian gangster guy and literally makes a deal with him and says, hey, you front me. This is what I'm willing to offer. And he spells out this whole spiel where he's, like, hey, man, I'm about to get you the freshest, dopest connect that nobody has in this area. And I'm going to move you fucking pounds. Like, fuck all your douchebags that you're dealing with. They ain't got shit. I'm about to put you on lock. He's like, and this is what I want. And he spells it all out, tells him this, that, and the other. And I mean, like, negotiates the deal. And then homeboy, because it's the Russian guy is the dude that plays Hellboy. What's his name?
I forget, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, so he's that guy. And so he spills the deal out. And then, they go across. They make the deal. And he does this all on his own. He makes the deal with the John C. McGinley, the grower guy. And he's like, because the guy's just like, hey, here's the deal. If you guys are going to do it, this is how you do it. And he spells it all out for him and tells him what everything is. And then, the way the pricing is and everything else, that it's just like, all right, cool. It's a better deal than what he had already done with the Russian. So there's just like the more weight that they move, the more money that he's making. And he's just moving it because there's like 6 or 8 guys and they're all backpacking and shit. And he's paying them.
So I have to ask, like, so this is based on a true story?
Basically, yeah. I think that's what she was saying is.
What's
she said a biography.
what's the moral?
Yeah,
What's the moral of the movie story and the moral of the reality story, and are they the same?
Honestly, I don't know.
Does he end up like rich and
So movie, he winds up doing pretty well, buys a house for his mom because that's what he did it for. So originally when he got into this, it wasn't because he like owed somebody money. He wasn't like desperate to the point where he's just like, oh my God, I got to save my sister or some shit. Nobody was like sick or anything. He didn't want to be a nobody. And he was very smart, figured stuff out, saw how things worked and was just like, you know what? Fuck it. This is a smart move for me because of the way, and it's just, he got lucky and did his thing.
it's the easiest way for me to make lots of money fast?
What? It wasn't even, dude. I mean, this
Was it about money?
it was more than that. It was like bragging rights but he wasn't like a douche about it.
Right.
Where he was like throwing his money around to throw his money around. He was just throwing his money around because he could. So it was like he threw parties for people and shit and was just living his life up. Like he's doing coke and like banging 2 chicks at the same time and shit. Like, yeah, dude, he's living every like
If you could do anything,
heterosexual
man.
male. Yeah, dude,
If you had all the money in the world, if money was no object, what would you do?
dude, apparently, that's what he would do.
2 chicks at the same time. To get that, see that
Yeah.
full circle.
Yes,
you see that? happen?
yes.
You
I
see?
got the Office Space reference.
And you made me
that was
think
good.
of that.
That was good.
It's your fault.
What? Fucking blame me. Now next you're gonna do is blame me for having beers this time.
Now you know.
Not gonna work here anymore. So you're gonna fire Samir and Michael, and you're gonna give me like four. I don't know.
Yeah. What would you say if you had as many as 4 people directly beneath you?
Yeah, dude. I mean, even the characters, like
Bob.
yeah, the Bobs,
The Bobs.
because they were both Bob, right? The efficiency experts. Oh yeah, no, they were.
What would you say you do?
I already told you.
I'm a people person.
So you take the numbers too. Well, no, I mean my secretary does, but I have to call them and make sure that they got them. What? Yeah. No, I'm trying to
I
think.
liaise between the salespeople and the programmers. They don't communicate well together. I'm a people person, damn it.
I'm trying to think. Idiocracy. Some of the stuff that they had pulled from that. The freaking watering plants with like Gatorade or whatever the hell it was. You know what I mean? Like there was, I think what was their main show? Wasn't it like
It was Ow My Balls.
yeah,
That was the most popular television show.
yeah.
And it was basically a reality program where people get hurt.
Yeah, basically. But they could win money and stuff, I think, right?
Yeah, it was kind of a conglomerate of all that is wrong with TV these days.
Yeah, like, it was like a mix of like The Price is Right, The Running Man. What was the freaking
Well, kind of like all reality
was it
TV.
Wipeout? Right, like Wipeout also. When you're getting the high five to the face with the full fucking foam. Launches you into the lake.
Yeah, it was
Should
kind
have
of
ducked.
It was kind of a conglomerate of all those. That's actually
Yeah.
probably more in like the if you ever watch the Japanese versions of those games, they're even worse. Like
Because you're like doing it in diapers and
they
shit.
have one version where they're all in diapers and they like smear themselves in paint and then get on this catapult that launches them towards a giant like wall, and they're basically so covered in paint that they just stick to it and slowly slide down.
Yeah.
Well, that's how they leave their mark on the world.
Wah, 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 wah. That was so sad. I think I'm gonna cry a little bit now.
But yeah, ow my balls.
Ow my balls.
Number 1.
Yeah, but oh man, the one thing I remember they were talking about. everybody in that movie was wearing Crocs. Well, the point that Mike Judge made was,
and I love him for doing that because I cannot stand Crocs.
well, so here's the story on that. The costume designer, they had like a budget that was tight to begin with, and then they did a couple screen tests and they didn't test well, so they pulled even more funding back. So they like, the costume budget was like now even smaller. Well, so she comes to him the one day and is just like, hey, there's this new startup shoe company. So they were like dirt cheap because they were trying to get their, product
They
out.
were
and all
at
that
first,
stuff.
yeah.
And she's like, look at these things. Nobody in their right mind would wear these things. These are the dumbest shoes ever.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, what happens if, maybe it takes a little bit, because sometimes movies take a little bit longer to make because there's the editing and everything else, and maybe the release date, and sometimes they even make them and don't even release them. Mm-hmm. So he's like, what if by the time it actually gets out that now, and she's
These
like,
are actually big.
yeah, and she's looking at him, she's like, nobody's gonna be dumb enough to buy these things. We're good. Don't even, she's just like, this is the dumbest thing ever. We got this. And he's like, okay.
It actually became a thing.
I mean, it was a little bit further after, so it did take some time.
So this is like things upon things that he's been predicting.
Well, no, I guess to a degree, but yeah, no. And it's
or did that happen because who knows?
You're right.
That would be
well, right
weirder.
now. Right now they have shell top Adidas shoes that look like those, but
That
they're
is
Crocs.
Sacrilegious.
Oh, there's even worse. Hold on, dude. JD, check this. Look up the $600 Croc fancy shoes. They are
What?
They're a fucking pair of pumps, and the stiletto heel is like an upside down nail head. So the head's on the bottom, so it's like a big peg but upside down. And they're like luxury Crocs or designer Crocs or some shit. They're like $600.
Designer. Now just listen to those words.
That's what I'm saying.
If you were a person not from this era and you heard that word, designer Croc, that's exactly what it is.
Pretty much.
It's a designer Croc of shit.
Well, that's right. The freaking Joe wrote. He asked. He's like, "Yo, what's with the strap in the back?" And young Jamie's like, "Yeah, it's sport mode." He's like, "Oh my god!" So yeah, you never know when you got a book. You just boom boom pop up your ends and off you go. Sport mode, bro. Yeah, look at them Johns. Look at them Johns up there,
dude. What?
Yeah, the green. Look at that. That's the upside down nail head and shit. And like, yeah, dude, fucking designer Crocs for like fucking $600.
Like designer jellies.
Kind of, man, but they're
they're jellies.
They're Crocs with a nail. They're fucking $600.
They're jellies.
We're in a fucking recession. We can't.
Jellies
This
made
economy.
Out of foam. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude, what the platform foam? Jesus.
Plastic shoes.
Dude, goth Crocs with nails coming out of them and shit. Was that like an angry bear?
I see Hello Kitty stickers all over that.
That's what I see. It's fucking. See, this is why I just wear slides, bro. You know what I mean?
Just keep it simple.
Yeah. The only time I put on like other shoes is golf or freaking if I'm actually getting dressed up.
What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh,
yeah. These are more.
That's just wrong.
Oh,
that's
I know.
Wrong.
I will never rock them Johns.
That is wrong.
Yeah, Adidas style Crocs. You can go F yourself.
Everyone at home, I'm showing them all of the variant Crocs.
And I'm sorry out there if you like Crocs, but
hey, you can rock Crocs, man. You can do whatever you want. Like we're all
the original
here.
Crocs design. Like, but you start messing with Adidas shell toes, man. That's a classic. Don't be messing with that.
Yeah, right.
That is not to be
shell tops,
not to be combined. And I feel the same with the new Mustang. Like I have to be honest.
Oh, the electric John.
No, that makes me mad. That should not be rocking the Mustang logo.
That should be called like a Colt.
Now, it doesn't actually say Mustang on it, though, does it?
No.
It just has the emblem.
Correct. Well, because it's got the big fat flat grill Tesla style because it doesn't need the radiator up front and shit.
And I'm sure on its own, it's a great car. As an electric car within that category, I'm sure it's lovely.
Yeah, but you can't rock that name, bro.
But the Mustang is like the mother of all pony cars. It was like the beginning of it all. Like there's nothing at all resembling a pony car when you look at that new style. Electric, otherwise, I mean, you could make an electric version of,
but it has the horse on it, so it's got the little horsey.
but no, that's not.
See the little horsey? It's a little horsey. No, I know what you mean.
But I mean, if I gold plate a shit, it's still a fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not a Mustang.
I can get a good look at a piece
And
of
I'm
steak
allowed-
by sticking my head up a butcher's ass.
I'm allowed
but
my
that's not
opinion
right.
on this. I'm sorry. I'm allowed my opinion on this.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with you.
It is not a Mustang.
Oh, I agree. Yes.
Yes. It's not even
You
a
are
Lynx.
correct.
It's not even a Lynx. It's not even...
Meow.
And those shoes are more like $800, $900.
Or no, what was the...
I mean, regardless, that's still fucked. That's why I said, bro.
What was the Mercury version of it?
The Sable? Oh no, the
Not the Sable.
Capri.
The Capri. That's what it was.
Yeah, Mercury Capri.
Looked identical.
Yeah, I just said Mercury Capri on
It
the
just
back.
had different badges. The same thing. Like you're taking badges for a Mustang and you're swapping them out with the, I mean, even if it's a rockin' awesome crossover vehicle that's got great speed off the line, I don't care. It's not a pony car and, well, it's not a pony car. And even if it's electric, woogie, woogie, woogie. I don't care. It's not a pony car. It has to be an internal combustion engine. It has to make noise and be bad for the environment and make noise and move fast,
So,
mostly in a straight line.
as you were saying all that, I was thinking just before you said the whole make noise and all that. The cool thing that seems to be going on lately is a lot of cats have been taking alternate cars and turning them into just rear-wheel drive Teslas, where they're taking the rear subframe with the motors and everything and just getting them to mount under these cars. And I see.
Well, yeah, you could do that because of the way it's been built. You could do that with that platform could fit just about anything.
Pretty much. I mean, you would have to modify the chassis to fit it so that the assembly as Tesla has just bolts up.
Yeah, they use them on trucks. They use them on cars. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but the cool thing when you get these swap outs and stuff is you were saying, the they got to be noisy. Do these things when they're shredding, like doing donuts, like just
Like you don't care that they're not making noise.
but it's dude.
It kind of adds to it. You're like, that's weird.
Well, because the car doesn't make any sounds,
But it's
the tires scraping across the ground, throwing rubber everywhere.
Oh, there's
smoke flying out of it. Like
there's no doubt there is no torque curve on an electric motor, and
Dude,
that's the beauty of it. Like if you set that up the right way, man, that thing will. They have to tune them down so that you can actually drive them. They literally have to tune them down in a lot of cases because the motors are so powerful that they will do that. Like if you step on it, you need traction control for a car like that.
Oh, well, yeah, but that's what,
With electric motors, the power is always there.
Yeah, they don't step them down. What they do is they don't give them all. They leak it in enough that you're making the appropriate power so that you have connection and stuff.
Yeah, those motors will.
Yeah, they're linear. They just go.
Yep.
Yeah, it's dope.
Torque curve? What's that? It's just like it's a straight line.
Kind of, because I mean,
Like it just goes here.
Well, no, as you get the traction, so that the car is allowed to do it. Yeah, it starts doing like one of those things where I mean, you almost King to car style straight the F up.
It's nearly like a straight line right up to the 100%.
Yeah, but that's the thing is they still have. I mean, you're not getting endless power out of this. They still only have so much output ability.
But you see, if it was that kind of thing, like you put dual electric motors in a Fox body shell or whatever new body style you're using now, whatever.
Right.
Make it a pony car with an electric motor. Okay. I suppose I could okay that. But you've made it a crossover now, and you can't. It's like putting badges on that does not make it a Mustang.
Well, that's why I said they can call it a colt
which I wonder if that's why they
because
put
it's like a baby horse.
they
It's
put
like,
the emblem on there, but you're saying you
what?
haven't seen it actually doesn't say Mustang, so
It's just got a horsey.
I guess that's good.
You see my little horsey? Look at that. I got a little horsey. Yeah.
It's like you stole that off a Mustang and just glued it onto
Get
your,
them right. And you're snatching off the Rolls
your
Royce.
electric SUV.
Freaking hood ornament, cracking that little bitch off. It's mine. Rock it on my Geo. Oh my
The
god.
Mustang Metro.
Mom, dude, I tell you, dude, I seen this one cat.
And like, you know, I understand Ford's got to keep their business model. You know, they got to keep selling cars. That's what's important. I understand that. But my last thing on this, just, it's not a Mustang. Obviously, it really struck a chord with me.
I mean, I kind of feel like there should either be a preface or
I'm sorry, please continue.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm afraid to speak because I feel like you're just gonna.
No, I won't. I'm good.
I mean,
I'm all done. That was it.
I'm
Go.
See, that's what I'm saying.
1, 2, 3.
So what we've learned is it's not a real Mustang.
It's not a real Mustang.
It's not. It's not a Mustang. Hey man, if I can't talk, at least I can, crack a joke or two. Just saying. I'm here. I'm here. I mean, it's green room. Who gives a fuck?
The floor is yours. Oh, cheers, by the way. We never.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm doing. And yes, the floor is mine. Thank you. Oh, sorry.
Curtains. Oh, they're beautiful.
I say, where's your grandma's curtains?
Not those curtains.
Oh shit!
Skeet. No, not those curtains.
Fuck your curtains. Yeah. Oh my god, so painful.
Where are we?
Pull up.
See, stop doing that. Stop. You're making everybody at home get drunk.
Oh, I mean, I don't not know how to do it.
See, now that voice.
What's that?
Now you're in that territory, that lawyer speak. That
I was like, I don't not know how to do. I don't not know how to do.
Are we gonna
that.
have to break early today?
Never.
What time is it? Well,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be that early, I guess. But
No, we are good. We're golden pony boy.
Pony boy. I haven't been called that in years.
Dude, I called you that like the other week.
Did you? I totally
Yeah.
missed that.
It was on episode. See, you don't listen to shit, apparently.
I don't listen to you. I don't listen to him.
I've trained him well. You're welcome.
Well, we haven't seen our counselor in some time.
They gave up.
I think we scared her off.
The counselor now needs a counselor.
No longer accepting your appointment.
Just kind of just dipping out. Like she's always out to lunch. I don't get it.
Was that a psychology joke? Hey, did you see what I did there? You're welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Oh, gosh, yeah. So
Moana.
I was telling him earlier, I was re-listening to
Were you?
the episode from a couple weeks ago where it's titled currently Jonah Hill and the F-Bomb.
But you want to retitle it.
Well, yeah. All right, well, but I'm pretty sure I'm still going to leave and the F-bomb in there because, dude, there are so many F-bombs in that episode. No, there's like so many.
I drop a couple in this one.
Dude, no, bro. Okay, so here's the deal.
You actually counted.
I don't have enough fingers.
That's pretty sad.
Little shop of horrors. But I don't have any more fingers.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that.
Fuck. This guy. Thanks. Anywho.
Let down.
A little bit.
Feed me, Seymour.
But yeah,
I'm hungry.
So
Feed me.
there's 30 some odd movie quotes. Like different movies, not quotes. Like I don't even know how many quotes. There is, however, like, I don't know, fucking 30 movies. It's ridiculous. Like monster count. On top of, there's a lot of F-bombs. I think there's more F-bombs than movie references. And there's a lot of movie references. It's like on almost all movie quote episode.
Okay. If you ever run the logistics on that, let me know.
I'm afraid. I'm really afraid.
You're afraid?
I'm a little scared. Just not a lot, just a little.
Well, I mean, just that way if like there's anybody playing at home, like what they're going through.
I do.
Right?
All right, dude. So,
not just the F-bombs, but counting all the quotes.
bro, give me my other beer, please.
Speaking of drinking.
Otro más. Por favor. But yeah, like I was telling you, thank you, bro. I was telling you the dude, that's how they know it's me. I was telling you about the thing in How I Met Your Mother where they do that. It's all wet.
It's all sweaty.
It is sweaty beer. It's my sweaty balls.
Cup it like that.
I'm just trying to get all the water off it. Oh, plus it feels so good. Oh my god. All right. Anyway, what were we just talking about with How I Met Your Mother before that?
Can you feel the condensation?
Can you smell what the rock is cooking?
Put the lotion in the basket.
But no, seriously. All right. So the How I Met Your Mother one, I was telling you the Robin, the one character, she's a newscaster, talk show, whatever, does one of them kind of things. Well, the one guy is a professor, and what he finds out is his kids that are in his class know of her, not because she's this, awesome reporter. And they're like, oh my God, we watch all the time. They have a drinking game. Yeah, well, Robin Sparkles is her side. That was her pop character before she went to was it Robin Daggers instead of Robin Sparkles? It's not, dude. I can't make this shit up. But yeah, so they have a drinking game while watching her show at it's like 4 a.m. The show is on, or 3 a.m. It's ridiculous. So they're all still out because it's New York, so they're still out and they're like drink because you can.
So what's the drinking game when they watch the show?
Every time she says but
that was your joke, that your ongoing joke with me.
Pretty much. Well, yeah, because then that was the thing is she would just be, instead of saying or she would just be like, so that's great, but what would you say? And it's just like, and she just keeps saying but. Well, it gets to a point where freaking Ted, the professor, finds this out, tells Barney, the freaking misogynistic prick, and he's like, oh hey, he's just like, we gotta play. So they get a bottle of freaking vodka and they play the Robin Scherbatsky game.
They get wasted
before the show's even over. The bottle's gone. They start with like you see them cracking the bottle, and then you see the bottle is empty, and they're just like on the floor, bombed out, laughing, and it's and they go and tell her like, "You're a game," and she's like, "What?" Because she's like, oh, all of your kids love me. I am so like, so she gets
they love you because you become a drinking game.
Yeah, so she's being all uppity about it, and he's just like finally lets her have it. It's like, you're a game, you're a drinking game. There it is. Every time you say but and so now she goes back on air the next day to do it, and as she's talking, she's now cognizant or more aware, hyper aware of every time she says but And so then she's trying not to say it.
And that makes it worse.
Well, because then she finally gets to a point and she's just like, wait a minute. These little shits want to have fun? And then she starts playing. She starts, and they're like, and Ted sees it and he's hanging out with the kids and they're all drinking. And he's like, no, you guys can't drink. This is like, we have to. She said, and they all take,
You've been made.
Pretty much, but it's
been made. The game is over.
Horrible pull up. But then she comes into class the next day when they're all hungover and has the megaphone, and it's got like the weird sirens and just like pow, and just lights off into the entire class, and they're like, oh, yeah, fucking hilarious. We could be that funny. I think we are that funny, actually. Let's be honest. Come on. especially the
But,
green room.
Well, that's it. I mean, I guess
But,
you're trying to make that reference to making this into a drinking game, which we've kind of joked around several times.
No. I have not referenced us turning this into a drinking game. I've referenced the fact that I'm certain at some point
Somebody has tried.
this is going to be a drinking game for our
I
people.
mean, it's a numbers game. Somebody's got to.
But see, that's the thing. Just as we're saying that now, in time frame ahead of us,
I mean, and you're
that
listening
game
on Hump
already
Day.
exists.
I mean, Hump Day. Why not? I mean, that's a good excuse.
You're a hump day.
You-
Yeah, you said it.
just- what?
He didn't.
What the? Go on. I'm sorry. What?
Mike. Cool. Cool. Dude, you know what?
I like the other one. Cool.
No, I like in Hot Rod where him and his stepbrother are doing this thing over.
You got to tell everybody else what you're talking about. 'Cause
No, I'm telling you. I'm also painting the word picture. So in the movie Hot Rod, there's a scene where the brother and brother-in-law or stepbrother, which is so Andy Samberg, who was on SNL,
Right.
but is a part of the Smash Brothers Lonely Island. His stepbrother in the movie Hot Rod is also one of those members of Lonely Island.
Right. Gotcha.
And they do a chop up of them saying cool beans to each other. But they make it into a literal chopped out beat. And it's just like them saying cool beans different ways over and over and over again. And it's
Cool beans.
oh no, dude. It's a literal. I'll play it on break. I'm gonna play it on break for you. This shit is hilarious. But it's oh god, like 45 seconds a minute. I mean, it's a little bit, and it's literally they
You can't
chop
do it yourself. You can't do any of it.
They chop different versions of them saying cool beans, and it's the video
You
too.
can't try to mimic it or do it at all. Any justice?
I'd probably not right now. Dude, I've been drinking, bro.
Dude, that's your excuse, really?
Right, dude.
That's what makes it more interesting.
It's my third beer. No, see, I know.
Give it a shot. Man.
I know that bourbon and beer do not make me a better beatboxer. But dude, anybody can do that one. I mean, you can do it now, man, and you do it really
What's
well
that
too.
mean? Even you. What's that mean?
Because you typically can't. I mean, you're 73% of the time. I'm just saying, like everything is like it's like 73%.
That's only on facts, right?
No, that's like everything.
It's like,
You're just 73% across the board.
which isn't bad. It's passing great.
Dude, that's above passing. D plus is passing. You're in the C category. You're passing
You're
well.
at 65 and up. You're good.
Yeah,
C minus territory.
Keep moving. Yeah, no, dude, 73%. You're almost at that's like straight C. You're like, nah, he's just good.
It's less than half of your answers are wrong. It's not a big deal. It's less than half.
I mean, yeah, it's like almost.
But let's not focus on
It's
that.
almost like 3/4. You're good.
I mean, you're a glass mostly full kind of guy.
I don't now because I keep drinking the beer.
Well, that's true. There's no glass.
There is no glass.
There is no glass.
Actually, yeah, mine's over there. I'm not drinking. What?
Huh? What?
You're a dick sometimes. You know that?
Where did that come from?
Oi, where did that come from? Yeah, dude.
Or
But see, all right. So this is like
CSC again.
Tell you, this is the thing though. Is like, so time not being existent, meaning that this moment happening now.
Right.
Somebody listening to us recording this as we make it right now is hearing it then, and then will be now soon, which at that point they have already made the drinking game out of our show, which is why we're aware of it because they put the idea out and it looped back
Did
to
they?
us because it was in the ether and we just,
Did they?
that's what I'm saying.
Speaking into existence, or therefore already the here and now.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like, so as soon as you write the words in a journal, or as soon as you put a recording where it's like, as soon as you allow that data to exist, even as a thought, it's out there, man. And somebody somewhere somehow is going to receive that. They too had that thought. And they're like, hey, I just had a thought. It's like, no, that was me, bro. Welcome. But the same thing is like, so when you get ideas, somebody else thought it and you just picked up on it. We're all just the same idea going around and around and around. Same, bro. What?
So it's not so much social network as it is a drinking network. That's what
Short attention span theater.
That's what I'm thinking.
Dude, maybe we should call ourselves Short Attention Span Studios. You know what I mean?
I like it.
Maybe.
Because
yeah.
It's being written down.
Short Attention Span SAS Studios. SAS Studios. How can I help you?
I like it.
Yo, for real. All right, quick side note. Beastie Boys side fact that like most don't know about.
Corporate accounts need speaking.
Exactly, dude. Not a joke. So the Beastie Boys, they made, I think it was Intergalactic, right? And they were just kind of taking a break from making music and they were doing their stuff. And yeah, just, whatever, just like all their side projects. So like working with magazines and getting, publications out and just, trying to be a better part of the community, like just doing their shit. Cause I mean, they're dope dudes like that, right?
Right.
And Ad Rock.
Down with the Aoni.
All right. Yeah. Ad Rock was calling this one magazine in Japan. And the magazine was called Nasty. So every time he was calling to talk to, whoever, because you got to go through the call center. So you get, the first person. Every time she would answer the phone, hello, Nasty. And he kept hearing it again and again and again. And he's like, dude.
That's got to be something.
Yeah, so that's when they made the
Hello Nasty,
which, I mean, honestly is a dope album. Which, ironically, if you think about this, same way LL Cool J.
See, look at this guy bringing the factual.
Oh, thanks. But so if you know your knowledge, LL Cool J. Mm-hmm. So Rick Rubin making Def Jams.
What's the LL stand for?
Ladies Love. I'm just saying. So Rick Rubin's the producer starting Def Jam out of his New York freaking apartment for college. Yeah, his college dorm room is where he started Def Jam.
Why not?
LL was calling.
Better than Kitten Calendars.
Yeah, right. Was that fucking Transformers?
Yep. Dude. Oh, I love
fucking love you, bro. But so anyways, LL keeps calling Rick Rubin's because on his vinyls, on the pressing, it had a phone number for Def Jam. It was his fucking dorm room phone.
That's awesome.
Dude, it's not a joke. So,
dude, you don't let things like that stop you?
Apparently not for LL, man. You know what I'm saying?
So I got to skip class. I got business to handle.
No shit. Anywho, so he's so LL is calling Rick Rubin's and just leaving demos on his freaking voicemail,
like over and over.
Yeah. He's leaving him a freaking, he's leaving him a voice message, and so I don't even.
LL was the shit back in the day.
So
man.
Ad Rock, just being Beastie Boys, hanging out Def Jam style and shit. Just he's fucking Rick Rubin's and stuff. He keeps listening to these messages over and over, and it's just.
He's like, bro, you gotta check this bro out.
I think it was like after if I recall correctly, Ad Rock said something. It was like after the third or fourth, maybe fifth time or something. He's like, after the fifth track or whatever. He's like, I finally went to Rick. Was just like, Rick, you need to listen to this dude.
So is this like
gotta get him?
Like in a way, if it wasn't for Beastie, there wouldn't be LL Cool J.
Yeah, but if it wasn't for Rick Rubin's, there wouldn't be Def Jam.
Well, obviously, but I'm just saying, like that was what kind of maybe could have pushed it over the edge to get him noticed. Was that
who to get LL?
You saying Ad Rock had a part in getting
absolutely
LL signed?
Oh yeah, because he basically told Rick, he's like, you need to, and then LL got on Def Jam, and because that was also at the point in time when Russell was coming on, Russell Simmons. Because that's the thing is people are just like, oh, Russell Simmons, he's Def Jam. It's like, no, bro. Rick Rubin's Def Jam. Russell Simmons comes in and he's the business. He's the management. He's the freaking brains. He knows how to take production art and turn it into an empire. And that's what he did.
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah, because I mean, at that, then that's the thing. Dude, long story short, I'm pretty sure. I think what happened was like Rick got into issues or something, and him being a true artist was like he was more about the equipment and the dreams and all that shit, and could care less about the business side of it. And was just like, here you go, bro.
He was full on grassroots. I mean,
dude,
come on, like you start your
making
business
vinyls out of his fucking college dorm room, right?
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you can't get any more grassroots than that. Like that's. Like, hey, this is what I do. I want to keep it close to the people. I want to keep it close to the artist. You know, he wasn't necessarily about all the business. He was about the art of it.
It still is. I mean, dude, dude, Rick Rubin's. I mean, this guy's he's worth something. You know what I mean? But people barely know about him. Like there's so many people have no clue about who Rick Rubin is. You're saying to
this day?
Yeah. Like, I mean, more and more people now, especially with the way internet and everything else.
I mean, that would surprise me because...
Yeah, dude, honestly, I'm surprised more times than not that more people don't know about Rick Rubin. I mean, he's like the whitest dude in the world. I mean, he's a ZZ Top looking motherfucker.
Well, it's
and he's the biggest name in hip hop that nobody knows about.
It's Rick Rubin's that kind of allowed hip hop to enter the mainstream culture. I mean, he was very integral in that.
I mean, like, I would say he
kind of
was
kicking the door down.
Well, I would say
to
for
mainstream culture, like
for East Coast rap, he brought because you were still at this point a whole East Coast West Coast complete difference because West Coast was like hella gangsta.
It wasn't something that would a lot of I guess. Record companies weren't necessarily interested in that type of music yet because it wasn't marketable. You know what I mean? That it was a party scene. It was they were afraid that I don't know what I'm not sure that I'm sure there's a multitude of reasons why that it wasn't really delved into. But
yeah, if I were to tell you, we would sound very racist and horrible right now.
Well, no,
I don't want to be a part of that.
It was a combination of things though, because like you were saying before, it was the realization that there was a commonality at the time between the ideals behind hip hop and the ideals behind punk music, and that there was a lot of parallels there.
They were both about uniting, sticking it to the man, being raw in your face.
Stick it to the manitis.
You stick it to the manitis. You know, while punk was more in your face, vulgar, you know, very much a middle finger to the man. Hip hop culture was really more about, like you were saying, grassroots. It was, we don't have much, but we still want to get this out and we need to express ourselves. So there was to me, there was almost a more poignant intelligence behind it.
I mean, you got to imagine at one time there wasn't a really nice Technique turntable, that somebody was using a decent set of turntables that had no original purpose. Like, you know, somebody toyed with this idea before it became a thing. And that was these guys that forged, you know, and I'm not even talking about Beasties. I'm talking about all the guys that were doing this back in the day. And that it was a party scene thing. It was something that was unseen by the masses.
Miss JD, if you could please, because I always forget the other guy's name from the 70s. DJ Merry-Go-Round, Kool Herc, KOOLHERC, Kool Herc. There's going to be another name that comes up with that, with the idea of merry-go-round. Merry-go-round is when you finally went from having a record player and somebody with a microphone plugged into a speaker, basically.
Oh, this was the figure eight loop you were talking about?
Correct. So Kool Herc and this other dude, party style wise, in the 70s, realized you could take two records.
Chill.
Thank you. You could take what's
Professor
his real name? Because he went by that more than. But you would take two different vinyls that are identical. So you buy two of the same album,
right?
Put them on two different turntables and plug together into, you know, a mixer where you could turn the volumes up and down and whatever else. you find the same exact spots on these records where, and you'll see them, dude. I mean, real DJs, they have little white, like white out.
The cool thing
little,
is
little marker marks.
In a lot of cases, the music that you were buying, if it was a decent vinyl set, it came with an instrumental and a regular album, so that you really didn't even have to buy another copy. And I think that's probably partially where that originated from. That people had access to the instrumental and the normal versions.
I've never even heard that, and that's true. There definitely was, and that's the thing is, I mean, so you're talking about also taking records from people.
This is soul music from back in the day.
Dude, I mean, you're talking about jazz, R&B, swing, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I mean,
that's what was around, what you grew up with.
Correct. As well as with that, you have all these different sections where most of the artists would get a small solo, even if it was only for a break, which is where you started to get the break beats. Break beats are those almost non-finished section where it's a small little bridge piece almost, whether it's an intro, a bridge, whatever. But you get this almost...
Actually, I think they would refer to it specifically as a bridge when you're talking about like...
well, yeah, because I mean...
Like James Brown.
Well, so...
Like he would say, take me to the bridge, and that's when you'd hear like the break beat or the beat breakdown.
Well, that's the thing is, so a break beat comes from any and all of those. So that's why it's whether it's as an intro, because I mean, think about that is Rick Rubin's, and most don't even know this. Rick Rubin's with Beastie Boys on their first mainstream production.
He wasn't even taking cuts from soul music. He was taking it from
Led Zeppelin,
old classic rock.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So I think there's 3 different break beats on Beastie Boys' License to Ill or Ill Communication. Sorry,
UK rock too.
No, License to Ill. Yeah, I had it right the first time. Yeah, on their first mainstream production, License to Ill, I want to say there's at least 3 different Led Zeppelin break beats for different songs. But yeah, so vinyl-wise, yeah, you would take that small little section, and because you could loop it at that point where, the left record is playing it while you're pulling the right record back, and then flip-flopping it so that you could turn each one, and you're using both hands, and that's why you'll see the DJs go from left to right with their hands, because one hand's moving the mixer while one hand's grabbing the record,
right,
and then switching right back over to the other side where they're flipping the mixer and then dragging back that record, and they have them marked.
But there was a way that you could do it where you could quite literally keep it going
continuously. Yeah. But I mean, mind you, you're going back and forth, and that's practice, though. I mean, when you're cutting records, that's what you're doing.
But I mean, once you learned the rhythm that you could,
yeah,
and the rhythm was different for every set of records, obviously. Like
as well as you could move
where the break beat came in and where it stopped, or where yeah.
Because I mean, even if you didn't have like dope players where you actually had pitch control, because they weren't really doing that yet, you had. Well, was it 33 and a third, and then 78? You have 45s and 70s. You had different speeds that they would play at. So now you can take a really slow break beat or a really fast one, and then you can start to play with it that way.
Yeah, I'm curious what came, because it seems like the Technique Tech 12s, right?
Well, those became the industry standards.
The industry standard, but
yeah. So
was that kind of dial-in control available before that?
Oh yeah. So
because I know it usually had clicks. Like unless you had I guess if you had a really fancy hi-fi, like you get.
Well, that's the thing. So yeah, originally what you only had was the different speeds. So if you had one that could play 45s and the 78s, or you had the 33 and a thirds, it's like.
Even if it had all 3, but you couldn't dial through it.
Correct. No, you could.
That was the big difference.
Well, yeah, you couldn't modify throughout. It was 1, 2, or 3.
Right.
Yeah. So, and that was all of those typically were belt driven.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a motor on the side and then a belt, and then it ran to the spindle for the needle set.
Oh, and then they used magnets, wasn't it?
No,
magnetic or
quartz.
Oh, really?
Quartz drives.
See, I'm learning all kinds of stuff.
Well, you said them. So the Audio Tech 12. So this is Audio Technica 1200s. These have been for the longest time revered as like the dopest of the dope. They are quartz drive, so it's direct drive. So yeah, the motor set and everything is on it. Completely different setup. So you get basically almost like frictionless back, which means it's easier to draw the record. It is so soft and smooth. Plus, at this point, you also have those felt pads, your scratch pads.
Right.
So that one, you're not scratching the record up, but two, the record slides super easy and you get no drag even further off. So you're putting even less.
Well, and it goes from 0 to 60 like that. Like
and it regrips. Yeah, as soon as you boom, it grabs and goes.
Like you do that with an old school record player. After a while, you'd have to replace the belt.
Well, not only that, but yeah, I mean, you're also going to get lag time from that one as you pull back to like, it's gonna, it's got to speed back up.
Yeah,
yeah, you can, do exactly right. Chicka, what? Fake ID. Yeah, you get in, like as you were saying, almost instantaneous, right back to where it's at. Scratch pads and all that stuff. But
right.
Yeah, the Tech 12s, as they're called, like
that was like the gold standard
for the longest time.
Yeah.
I mean, again,
I'm sure it's been something different since then. But
honestly,
technique has been set aside for.
They were the big dogs for a long time. It wasn't until they went to CD scratch pads.
We wondered, like, is there a Kraco, like a Rolodex, like a fake version?
There was quite a few knockoffs,
like Technical.
Yeah. Did you?
So
Technical.
The DJ that Cool Herc inspired was Grandmaster Flash, but Cool Herc's real name was Clive Campbell.
No. The other guy that you were talking about. The professor. What is his actual name? Because that's typically how he's referred to. That's what I was saying.
What was it again? Professor what?
I forget. As soon as I was just like, yeah, that fucking guy. Yes, thank you. There's... I mean, I might have to look this up on break. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. We definitely have to take a break.
Yeah, we do. Plus, I got to show you some shit on break, too. What I have to show you? Tell me what I got to show you again.
What?
Remember, there's something I got to show them on the...
I don't know.
On the YouTube with the music and such. Oh, the cool beans.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but we got
cool beans.
We got
beans, cool beans.
We got to at least pretend like we're going to do our sign off. So yeah, anyway, we haven't mentioned it yet, but obviously if you want to get in touch with us and obviously check out ITY at some point,
If you want to touch us, hit us up at Gemini.
If you want to get in touch with us, hit us up at ity@directionsandmusic.org.
I feel like I've touched your children.
If you want to get in touch with me directly, it's Gemini@directionsandmusic.org. That's GEMINI @directionsandmusic.org. Thank you.
Easy.
And if you want to get in touch with Philly D,
baby,
you'd write them at PHILLYD.
Double L. Yeah, I got
Debo.
A Debo L. You got a Debo L?
At directionsandmusic.org.
At directionsandmusic.org. It's the sure side winding, side stepping, head beating. Oh! Sorry, wound off the monkey. Time to go.
Got a lot of noise coming out your mouth.
Oh, but I said a lot. Said so much. Said it all.
It was so nice having you tune in, though.
Yeah, dude, the warm-up show to a show about nothing.
That's right.
Even though this is the real show.
Mr. Gemini.
Philly D.
Cookie Clacker Fact Check of SJD.
Yeah, and as always, fam, be good to yourself, be good to everyone else.
Much love.
Peace.
Peace.